In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use ClickUp with consulting clients. If you find this useful, consider subscribing and liking the video. Getting started with ClickUp can revolutionize the way you manage your consulting efforts. We'll dive in step by step, making sure you have everything set up correctly for your client processes. First things first, go ahead and open your ClickUp workspace. This is your home base where all your client work lives, so it's crucial to be in the right workspace that you actually use for consulting. Make sure you have permission to adjust the space settings. This is important because without the right permissions, you might find yourself hitting a wall when trying to make necessary changes. So what's a space in ClickUp? A space is essentially a container for all your related projects and tasks. You need to choose the space where you want your client process to run. Keeping everything organized in a clearly named space helps both you and your team find work quickly and keeps client information tidy. If you manage different services, it's beneficial to maintain consistent naming conventions. This makes it crystal clear for everyone where to build and, more importantly, where to look. Now that you've selected your space, let's move on to the templates. Inside your chosen space, there should be an option labeled Templates. This typically shows up in the space settings or toolbar. Accessing the templates from within your space is key, as it ensures that the new structure you are about to create is positioned correctly. Templates in ClickUp are incredibly powerful. They provide a consistent starting point for every engagement you undertake, which not only saves a ton of time, but also reduces the possibility of making mistakes. Plus, they simplify onboarding new team members, as the workflows are already mapped out for them. Once you're in the template library, utilize the search feature to look up Legal Project Management. You might wonder why we're looking at a template labeled for legal teams. Well, it turns out that this framework is service-focused enough that you can easily adapt it for your consulting needs. You'll find it includes thoughtful task statuses, lists arranged by phases, and some very helpful views for tracking work, which will be essential for managing your clients effectively. As you check out the template, visualize how your typical engagement flows, from the initial intake and scoping, through execution and reviews, and eventually to handoff. Before you save it to your space, take the time to customize the controls so that the template aligns with your consulting process. Start by adjusting the task statuses to reflect your project lifecycle. You might use terms like discovery, in progress, review, and complete. Feel free to tweak or remove any custom fields that you don't particularly need, but also think about repurposing others for practical things like budgets, deadlines, and task ownership. Setting default assignees and watchers for your common tasks speeds up delegation and makes the whole workflow much smoother. Don't forget to review the automations. Ensure that notifications, status changes, and due dates behave exactly how you expect them to. We want everything running like a well-oiled machine. Take time to configure your views, list, board, calendar, and Gantt to ensure that the most important summaries come up first. If tracking time is on your agenda, make sure that feature is activated at either the space or list level. It's also important to standardize naming conventions for lists and tasks. This will keep all your reporting clean and straightforward. For clarity, rename the template to something that your team will recognize immediately. You might call it Consulting Engagement